This legal filing reveals a startling reality. An unadjudicated mother named Heather Bendl has been separated from her 4 children for 5 full years. Florida courts are aggressively enforcing a foreign custody and child support order originating from Illinois, utilizing severe financial and administrative penalties to force compliance. As we can see in this motion to stay enforcement, the state leveraged a specific crippling tactic, the threat of suspending her Florida driver's license. While the license suspension hung over her as a constant threat, the state ultimately did not execute the suspension. The root of this entire administrative maze traces back to a single document, a disputed custody and child support order issued by an Illinois family court on April 27, 2022. Heather's core legal defense is straightforward. She argues that this 2022 order is void ab initio, meaning it lacked legal validity from the moment the judge signed it. If that original order is legally void, then every subsequent enforcement action in Florida and every single day she has been kept from her children represents a continuous violation of her constitutional rights. Looking at this appellate filing, the specific reason the order is allegedly void becomes clear. The Illinois court had no continuing exclusive jurisdiction under the UCCJEA as of February 13, 2022, more than 2 months before the custody order was drafted. The UCCJEA is a federal framework that dictates which state has authority to make custody decisions when families move across state lines. By February 2022, the entire family relocated to Florida, legally transferring jurisdiction and stripping Illinois of its authority over the case. Furthermore, this brief highlights that the Illinois court issued the 2022 order without properly serving Heather or ensuring she had legal representation present, rendering the proceedings functionally ex parte. A state court system is fiercely defending and enforcing a custody order that, according to federal jurisdictional rules, it legally possessed no power to create in the first place. Pointing out a jurisdictional error is one thing, but proving it without a lawyer is another entirely. Fighting this battle as a pro se litigant places Heather at a severe disadvantage against the family court machine. This disadvantage is compounded by her health challenges, which include post-traumatic stress disorder and hearing loss in one ear. Instead of facilitating her participation, the court weaponized its own administrative rules, constructing a barrier that prevented a disabled mother from meaningfully accessing the legal system. We can see exactly how the court used formatting technicalities to justify striking her emergency motions by examining the dismissal order from October 8, 2025. The court penalized Heather for trivial infractions, officially citing her failure to provide courtesy copies and the absence of proper local rule affidavits. Pushed to the breaking point during the Zoom hearing, a deeply frustrated Heather lashed out at the judge, stating she viewed the court as an abuser and referring to Chicago as a war zone. The judge responded by revoking Heather's remote access entirely, requiring a disabled mother living in Florida to appear in person in Illinois for all future hearings. The hearing reached a climax when the judge placed Heather in a virtual Zoom waiting room. While she was locked out of the proceedings, the court dismissed her entire petition with prejudice. The court utilized a citizen's procedural noncompliance to avoid answering the foundational question of the case, whether the 2022 custody order was legally valid. Left with no other options, Heather has escalated the fight, filing a petition for leave to appeal to the Illinois Supreme Court. This petition asks the state's highest court to confront the jurisdictional errors committed by the lower tribunal. This diagram illustrates the mismatch in the court's priorities. On one side, a potentially void custody order and a total loss of jurisdiction. On the other, missing courtesy copies and poor Zoom etiquette. If a court can use administrative rules to prevent the review of a void order, then procedural technicalities become a shield for jurisdictional errors. The ultimate question the Illinois Supreme Court must now answer is whether absolute procedural compliance will forever trump a citizen's fundamental constitutional right to parent their children. The disparity in power is absolute. The judicial institution holds all the leverage and authority, while the unrepresented citizen holds all the risk. When the justice system makes an error that destroys a family, the burden of fixing it should not require a disabled, unrepresented mother to navigate a flawless administrative maze just to force the court to look in the mirror.